Hi, my name's Kay and I'm an English teacher here at Huddersfield New College, and I teach on the A-Level English Language and Literature Combined programme. Today we're going to have a look at a unit that we called Remembered Places. Okay, and this is one of the units we cover in the two-year course, and it is about writers' viewpoints and their representations of Paris. To do this, we have a Paris anthology, and so that is an anthology of texts, conversations, memoirs, diaries, you name it. If it's about Paris, we will be covering it. But first of all, to help us to work out something about a text, to analyse a text, we have to start off by thinking about context. And so there are several different contextual factors that we have to think about, and they themselves help us to understand the choices that a writer or a speaker makes. So we have the place and time that a text was produced has an impact, the form in which the text is produced, so the mode or the genre, and we'll come back to a mode in a second. Who is producing it? So who is the writer or the speaker? Who's the target audience? Why is it being produced? What is the purpose? And finally, where it's published. So what I want you to do is, over the next few slides, if you can have a look and think about these contextual factors and see if you can spot any of them over the next couple of slides. So today we're going to have a look at a text by Lonely Planet. It is called Paris City Guide, and we have the text here. So if you just stop your video and take a moment to have a read through this text and see if you can spot any of these contextual factors. Okay, so did you have a look? Did you spot any of those contextual factors? Here we are, here we have some, I've marked them out for us. And so we start off with this video advert travel guide. So there we have immediately travel guide. That's the genre of this text. But it's an advert, and so adverts usually are to persuade people to do things. And so we have a function, a purpose for this text to persuade. And then also we have that it's a video. Now the video tells us what mode it is. Okay, so we have three possible modes. We can have a written mode, we can have a spoken mode, or we can have something that's in between called multimodal. And with a video, we have pictures, we have people talking, we have music sometimes, and so therefore the text that we're going to look at today is a multimodal text, and that's part of our context. Next then we have that it is the 22nd of February 2013 when this was published. So there we have the time that it was published, the date it was published. In pink then, it gives a brief background information about Paris. Okay, so we have another function then. We have an inform function. It is telling us about Paris. And then we have, it suggested that visitors, it suggests what visitors might do during their stay. And so that's an advisory function, okay, an advisory purpose. So lots of different contextual factors here. Finally then, we've got the narrator is female and North American, but we've got to think about that. She's the speaker, the person who's giving us the text, but she won't have been the person who wrote it. She will have been given a script, and so we have to think that Lonely Planet will be the people who have produced the words that she uses. Okay, and that's something that we will consider. Next then, we're going to have a look at the beginning, so the first paragraph of Paris City Guide. So take a moment, freeze your screen, have a read through, and then we'll have a look and see what we can find. Okay, so hopefully you've had a look now and you've had a chance to have a look, and you might notice that it looks a bit different to normal text, and that is because it has been transcribed for us, and so the spoken language, the music and everything has been put down on paper for us, and we can see that some of the different features show us the different things that we would hear originally. So we've got these double brackets. We can see they are telling us about action and music that's happening, what can be seen on the screen. We have things like these brackets with numbers in or with full stops in, and they are telling us about how long a pause there is between the utterances. And then we have these bold words, and that is telling us about the prosodic features, and that is a emphatic stress. So these words are stressed, and that's very normal in spoken language. Let's have a think about why does the video use music? Okay, so we've got two instances of music. Can you spot those instances and think about why does the video use music? Stop your video and have a look. Okay, so did you have a look? Did you spot the two times that music was used? What did you think about how it was used and why it was used? Let's have a look. So we've got music that starts off this advert for us, okay? And then we've got music, more traditional French music halfway through, okay? And so the reason this text used music, this video advert used music is one, it wants to be interesting and exciting and lively for the audience, and so to keep their attention. It wants them to persuade to keep listening, okay? So that's one of our contextual factors. But also, it is showing a change in topic. Ordinarily in writing, we would see a paragraph. The paragraph would change. We'd have a new paragraph because they were talking about something else. Here, we go from general information, then we get some music, and then we go on to architecture. And so the music is signalling to us when the topic changes, different to written texts then. The advert then, persuade, it's got a persuade function, but it does it in an entertaining way. Okay, let's have another look. Let's see what else we can find here. So we've got facts in here. Can you spot the facts and think about how those facts meet the context? Okay, why are those facts there? How does it fit? Take a moment, freeze your screen, have a look and see what you can find. Did you find any facts? What facts did you find? Why do you think those facts are there? So here we go, we've got facts, we've got things like 2 million people. Did you spot that one? We've got the River Seine, okay, so we've got the name of the river that runs through Paris. We've got things like 20 districts called arrondissements. And so again, it's telling us about Paris. It's giving us facts about Paris. How does that meet the context though? Well, part of the context is what is the function, what is the purpose of this text. And so here clearly the purpose is to inform the audience, to inform that target audience about Paris. Next then, okay, more facts, but this time we're looking for facts that are presented using proper nouns. Now reminder then, a proper noun is a title, it's going to have capital letters, see if you can spot those, and think how do these particular facts fit with the context, okay? How are they different from the other facts that we've looked at? Take a moment, freeze your screen, have a look and see what you can find. Okay, so did you find any? Did you find any proper nouns? Those titled words, okay? Why do you think they were used? Well, how do they fit with the context that we were thinking about earlier? Proper nouns give us this sense of believability. They are trustworthy. We can believe, and it's sort of realism, we can believe the text when we see proper nouns. It shows it's a real place and real buildings and real rivers and that sort of thing. And so we've got the Seine again, that's a proper noun, the name of the river. We've got cobblestone streets of Montmartre. We've also got, again, Clos Montmartre and the junction, the Rue de Sol, and the road names as well. And so we're getting these words, these proper nouns, making it feel like a real place to us, making it feel like a real place to the reader. The other thing as well is that they are French words. They tend to be French words, and that sort of gives us this flavour of France. And again, that meets this purpose of persuading. It's an advert. It is showing, it's believable, it is persuading its audience to go visit France. It's making it feel very French, and it's using these believable and trustworthy words. Okay, let's see what else we can find then. So language techniques. Now at GCSE, GCSE English, you will have been looking at language techniques. And so we have some language techniques and we have a few more at A level. Let's see what we can find then. This is what I want you to think about. What impressions they give you of Paris and how do they fit with what you already know. Remember, in this unit, we're looking at how the writer presents Paris and what their viewpoint is. Does this text tell us about that? Does these language features tell us about that? Stop your video, have a look, see what you can find. Right, okay, so did you find any language features, some things that you were familiar with? Let's have a look and see what we can find then. Okay, so we start on the top line with a 3-part list, sometimes called a triplicate, a tricolon, a list of 3. Here we have romance, culture and beauty. So telling us about the things that France is famous for, that Paris is famous for. And so really making the reader really think about those things and remember those things. Next we have personification. Okay, did you spot personification? And where we have Paris straddles the River Seine. So Paris can't straddle, it is being given features of a person, so therefore it is personification. And so it's telling us about the River Seine, and it's telling us that Paris is on either side, so painting it as being quite a big place. Next we have a metaphor. Okay, so the heart of Paris has changed, it says. Well, Paris hasn't got a heart, okay, so therefore it's a metaphor, but that metaphor links very nicely with that 3-part list with romance, and so this idea of Paris being a city of love. And lots of people know that. That is a very well-known sort of stereotype of Paris, and so they're using these ideas to draw us in. This is the beginning of the text, remember the beginning of the video, they're drawing their listener in. We have direct address, okay, so there's that you, that second person personal pronoun you, talking directly to their listener. All right, again, being persuasive, drawing their listener in. And then we also have a descriptive adverb where we have take a leisurely stroll. Okay, leisurely comes across very nicely. We want to be leisurely when we're on our holidays and on visits, and so it paints a nice relaxing picture. This shows us one of the other purposes. They are trying to persuade us to go to Paris. These are recognisable features, recognisable characteristics to the target audience. And because of the way that this is put, because of the fact that we're talking about romance, well, this target audience isn't going to be young children. Okay, because they're talking about this fantastic architecture, things like the grand boulevards, and it's talking about leisurely strolls along the Seine. Well, I'm not sure how many teenagers would want leisurely strolls along a river. So this is aimed, and this shows us that this is aimed at a slightly older audience, perhaps late 20s, 30s, and up till older, maturer audience. Okay, so again, linking back to that context for us. So, how has Paris been presented then? Because that's the aim, we have to think about the context, we have to think about how Paris has been presented. So we can see that Paris has been presented as a place of rich history and culture. It's referenced several different cultural interest places, showing that they're important. It's personified. It straddles the Seine, so this makes Paris feel quite active, okay, and alive, particularly because straddles is a present tense verb, okay, so it feels like it's active. And then finally, Paris is somewhere that we want to go for a leisurely stroll, we want to have a wander around, and so without rushing, and so that paints a nice picture for the audience, for them wanting to go and visit there, wanting to go and take a trip on their holidays to Paris. Thank you.